Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to show you another way you can use AI to remix your artworks, whether it's 2D or 3D. And if your machine is not powerful enough, you can actually use Google Colab. I think I mentioned it in the past. So one way, for example, this example by Kunash from GitHub, you can get the link. And then if you, this GitHub has this Jupyter Notebook Stable Diffusion 2, you can run this inside your Google Colab. You simply get the link of GitHub and then you just source that GitHub, and then you're gonna get this Jupyter Notebook, and you just simply run the whole thing. After you run it, at the very bottom you will have this link that you can simply open, like this URL. It's running live at Google server machine somewhere, and you're gonna have this kind of like a web UI. So for example, this is a 3D scan that I took a while ago, and I put it on Sketchfab, and I just simply grab a screenshot and then I just remixed it, okay, using the depth to image. Let's run this again. This time I want this to be more realistic or something. Maybe hyper realistic, yellow building, maybe cyberpunk style, surrounded by small park, colorful, photoreal, Nikon. I don't know. So you need to basically, in this case, I'm using depth to image. I can use other things like upscale 4 times or text to image, image to image, the old ways to do it. This one is trying to guess the depth, and it creates some result for me. So it's like a theme park. This is actually a yellow rice. It's a very famous dish in Indonesian. Yeah, it's creating this kind of artwork for us. So it's pretty cool, and I can simply download it if I want to. So this is like a kind of a way you can use AI to create some imaginative ideas and concepts, right? It's pretty cool. It's like a theme park, and you can always run it again and again. It's gonna create new things. For example, you can do it, if you want to do it really fast, you can also do like a kind of like a collage if you want to. For example, this is a tunnel that I scanned just the other day using the iPhone. I know, yeah, we can use this as a background, for example. Just take a screenshot. It's okay because this is my own scan. The tunnel, I didn't build the tunnel, but I took a 3D scan. So that's kind of useful for my future work, I guess. Let's say we want to put this blend soda can. It's a 3D object. Of course, I can download it myself and then put it in the tunnel, for example. Yeah, this is my own work, so I can just download it. But if you want to take a screenshot, you can always do that. And yeah, this thing is still running. Let's see if I can kind of, okay, this is kind of my experiment. It's a Ukrainian artist making collage, so I was kind of inspired to do that. We have a tunnel image screenshot. We have this blend can, quick actions, remove background. This is a functions that's available on Mac OS. And then we can simply maybe use Blender, file, import images as planes, shadeless, and go to the desktop and just import our images. Okay, file, import images as planes, desktop, this guy. Okay, it's lacking of shadow, but I think the AI can kind of imagine it. If you want, you can have like 512 by 512 camera just to make it simpler. Create a camera, okay, make it 512 by 512 pixel. I think 768 also can work. Just reframe it. You know, it's like a tunnel. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. It's probably gonna work. Render image. We have 512 by 512. This is a flat image, of course, but it's a composition still. So blend can. And we're gonna click to upload an image from the desktop. I think drag and drop is actually, drag and drop can work better on a Mac. When you drag and drop an image, it's gonna convert it instantly. Oh, did we save it? Oh, save it on the desktop. Drag and drop. This is a hyper-realistic painting of giant can of soda inside a tunnel. This is where you can put your prompt, and you can hit. This is where you can put your negative prompt. Now you have kind of like a soda placed inside the tunnel, right? Even though unfortunately we kind of lost the blend style. You can actually control the noise, I believe. The guidance, you can control this. There should be another options where you can control, instead of just guidance scale, there's a control over the noise. So you could kind of make it more like the original image reference. Okay, so it's kind of reimagining it as something else, even further away. It's kind of still kind of neat. We have a can of soda now. Maybe reduce this, generate again. So it's running really fast. So at the moment it says running on GPU at Google Server Colab somewhere. It's kind of cool. You can also use the upscale 4 times. I don't know. It's we lost the blend soda image, but still we can always do another compositions inside Photoshops. But we have this kind of art. Guidance scale, maybe increase it. Generate one more times. Sketchfab. I think I can just download it. Download the original. And I can remix some of my old scan. For example, okay, grandfather's chair. I remember I took this, I scanned this a while back ago on the street. Someone left it on the street. So I will use this. Of course, I price it like $4 if you want to donate. You can just take a screenshot probably, but in 3D, everything's gonna work a little bit easier because you can create a new composition, right? We already know that. You can always take a screenshot, but if you use 3D, file, import, GLB, if you have 3D assets of everything in the world, you know, you can create new compositions and the background. The chair is not perfect, but I can always put my can on top of it. Blend soda. Yeah, I remember a while back ago I took some time to create these assets and just make it lying down. Okay, kind of nice. What we are missing probably is the background. I don't know, we can perhaps have like a beach scene if we want to, but create the sunlight, something. Not the greatest compositions, but anyway, blend soda. Create a render. You know, I probably can use my tunnel image. Why not? There must be a way to snap it. Okay. Anyway, I can use this as a background, but I'm just gonna place it at the background like that. So we don't need this floor, I guess. Okay. Tunnel, chair. Okay. With the tunnel, it will be better if we actually create like a projection mapping. I don't know, but I think it's okay. It's simply like 3D and 2D collage anyhow, and then the AI can understand, can kind of guess the situations and create depth. It should work, hopefully. Create a render, image, save as, blend can 2, back to our Gradio. Okay, blend can, put it there. Hyper-realistic painting of a giant can of soda on a chair inside a tunnel. The painting, okay, you can use like artist name. It doesn't always work, but you can kind of guide it in a way. In this case, I will use Leng Jun, for example. Okay, we have a chair, and you know, it's a steel. Even though it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like something else. You can always do like repainting on top of it. You can look at the result by AI, and then you look at the original reference image, and then you kind of do a repainting. The interpolations between what you have here, and then you look at some reference image here, you can kind of make up new things, and by painting it with your own artistic ability, you're kind of solidifying the ideas, right? So I think it's kind of cool to be able to do this. You can increase the step, you can try play around with the ideas. The upscale is actually pretty cool, and in painting it's something else. You can kind of brush some areas and maybe draw something else, but I'm not gonna do that. If you don't like the compositions, you can always come back to the 3D and make a different one. Okay, maybe if you prefer it Be this way. Yeah, I accidentally moved that part. Oh well. It's pretty rough. Just gonna hide it. Just do another render. Image, save as. Because it's running on Google server on a Colab, we can have this result very fast. Realistic oil painting of giant soda by artist Leng Jun and Fandi or something. You can try different artists' name just for inspirations. It doesn't really create like artworks that's made by that artist, but you can always kind of imagine. It's getting pretty abstract. Hyper realistic painting. Maybe we can even say surreal on a space tunnel. So we are putting this really surreal giant can of blend soda on a chair that was like a 3D scan objects, and yeah, starting to look pretty weird. Maybe I don't need surreal and I don't need this Fandi. I can try maybe Lexica. Hyper real painting. We want like a real painting style. Okay, thick paint. Whoops, that's not safe for work. Maybe use this key lighting and stuff. Generate. If we find the one that we like, we can perhaps try this upscaling 4 times. I haven't used this, but it's really handy to be able to do this. Yeah, this one actually is looking rather clean compared to the one we have before. Let's try this upscaling. Best for small image, bigger image will be sliced, will be okay. Maybe you can't make it too big. Small image can work. This one's kind of cool, colorful. Try this anyway. We start with 512 by 512. Maybe we're gonna end up with 2048 pixels image. I think it's still gonna use this text prompt, and then it's gonna enlarge this image so we have more details. So this is the original 512 by 512. We can always repaint this. I think it's a good idea to repaint. Maybe not inside, not inside Blender, but the funny thing is, of course, we can reproject this into Blender if we want to do that. So if we have this, we can reproject it. Remember using dream texture, so we can reproject dream ideas in there. This one might take a while. Maybe it's gonna run out of memory, I don't know. Gotta check. Sometimes. Wow, yeah, it's downloading really big image, like 1 GB. Yeah, sometimes if you run it for the first time, it's gonna try to download the model and then doing the upscaling. But still, it's faster than actually running it on your machine. So it's creating 4 slices of 512 by 512, I think. And it's running it 4 times, 4 times 4, 16 times. Whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. We just need to wait a bit. In the meantime, we can perhaps enjoy our creations, what we have so far. So 3D scan, yeah, and 3D objects can be remixed using AI, and you can study like all kind of different style. And then I think if you do like a repainting and even like you're gonna try to recreate this, you might think it's kind of cheating, but also you can kind of learn the style. I don't know, maybe you can improve it, you know. This is the result. I don't know if this should be larger. Yeah, it's 2048 by 2048. Which one did we use earlier? The colorful one. This one. This is the original. This is the enlarged one. Yeah, I mean, it's larger, but doesn't seem to add more details. Maybe it's not really worth it, but I think depth to image is what we really want to play around with. Search for cool oil painting style. Leonid Afremov, I think that's a famous painter name. But the yeah, we can try reprojections. Maybe not now, but oh yeah, this one is a bit crazy, but I like it. So yeah, the idea is really, I think it's about collecting assets inside Sketchfab. this is gonna be your kind of a future way to reference ideas, like old ideas or whatever you created inside Blender. Maybe it's not perfect, but you can always reuse it in the future because the AI can kind of remix it for you. Yeah, maybe even like this guy. Oh, maybe the octopus monster, this guy. If you really want to, you can screen grab this guy. Right? Remember this mushroom squid monster with horn? Just a screenshot this guy. 512 by 512. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab it. Go to the desktop, open with preview. Because it's on a Mac, the size is gonna be a lot larger. I just rescale it, and back to our Gradio Stable Diffusion. Gonna drag and drop our little monster here. Hyper realistic painting of a monster made with horn, made of mushroom and tentacles, squid, octopus. We didn't specify background. I think it's gonna use the depth to image to figure out, okay, what's going on. It's gonna take the color. It's gonna try to recreate something based on this. I can use this name. One of the Chinese hyper-realistic painter, very famous one. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's say by Leng Jun. It's really using like the texture of mushroom. So I can try to do repainting. If I want to go back to my model, I can do that. I usually, it's very unlikely I go back to the model, but if I want to, I can just remix and reproject. Maybe just use this as reference. Okay, Leng Jun doesn't really help, but I think it does give a different result. Variations. Monster with two big eyes, with horns, stripe by funny. I don't know who else is like famous hyperreal artist. Name. Try this. Okay, a fundy. It's pretty interesting. A fundy is more like expressionist. You probably remember 100 name of artists, famous artists in your whole life. Okay, see, it's trying to create weird design. Yeah, and then maybe play around with this guidance. There's one option here that's missing. It's the weight for the image. You can always exclude. Exclude like cartoony. Cartoony hyper-realistic photo graph of monster underwater. Photograph. Maybe I should say 3D render. Now it's becoming too realistic. (3D render dramatic light). I don't know if Greg Rutkowski still works. Pixar. Sometimes you get this weird watermark. Maybe we just remove that. That's cool. Generate one last time, because you can endlessly doing this. It's ideally, like, anyone can do this on their machine, and you know, it's really cool tools to be able to do this. I think this is getting somewhere. I quite like this. It's really powerful tool to be able to do this, like on the almost like on the fly, and you kind of create variations. So it's good to have abilities, a little bit, knows a little bit of 3D, knows a little bit of animation tools, you know, and then yeah, and then just use it with AI, and then you create new works, and then kind of improving from your assets that you think, okay, that's not really valuable, but normally if you are a graphic designer with us, you know, like ability to do like a little bit of photography, a little bit of illustrations, usually I think the AI can be really powerful to help you create future works, you know. You can always remix your own work, maybe add a little bit of influence from other artists. Ideally, everyone have time to do this without a worry, but you know, it doesn't always work like that. Some people need to do like all kind of works to make a living or something. Anyway, yeah, that's just an example. Yeah, so thanks Kunash to provide this Jupyter Notebook, so we can run it on Google Colab and Stable Diffusions, and yeah, it's all the funky stuff. After we finish, we can always disconnect. But in the meantime, I think I'll just gonna keep generating. So there you go. That's a quick look how you can turn your 3D artwork scan and assets, or even like just 2D render into something else using AI. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.